there is an intense connectedness through this understanding. First, the prana spanda. Every 0.8 seconds there is a wave transmitting through the spiritual heart. The anterior cingulate cortex in the brain, which is the spiritual heart, is now in tune with the physical heart. There is a beautiful transmission happening, and in this spark, the prana spanda, there is a powerful revelations happening. The prana has risen and become sukshma and become mukhya or mahaprana. That means you're no longer trying to through this ordinary channeled breath. You are now breathing from the top of the crown. Inside your crown there is a Shivarandhra and there is Brahmarandhra. There is an exchange of the powerful sukshma prana that is happening, and this is subtle awareness. That means a yogi could sit inside a cave without need for penetration of oxygenation. It happens through the smallest pores in the smallest available cavity, and then the Vyana chakra is, the Vyana Vayu is active. The Vyana Vayu is active, and then the whole body is alive to that knowingness. That means the enlightened awareness is ability to penetrate into the subtlest of the subtle. It's called the Sukshma, Ati Sukshma, and Kritrima. That means the penetration of that purest pure, and the Nada is so intensely beautiful, which moves from the Anuswara. You can hear the sweet breath. You can hear the breath channeling through the entire spinal column in the Sushumna Nadi. The Kundalini penetrates through the Brahmini and awakens you to the highest knowing. The Gnanodaya happens. The penetration through the Chitri Nadi, and this entire instrument in its fragrant original state. It is available as a holographic, cryptographic, sacred geometry instrument, and this whole yantra comes alive, and the tantra penetrates, and there is a mantra bhedana happening. The very chant will lead to an explosive awareness. Om Namah Shivaya becomes an atomic bomb within. That means there is a powerful revelations after revelations happening in this instrument through the calibration of that essence of the divine inside. The whole journey of this body is like an interplay of the divine. The shakti, the lasya, the dance of the shakti is like a beautiful double helix DNA format structure rising like a powerful hooded Kalinga Sarpa, and then the rising happens, and the magnetic power head Sadashiva in its glory of magnetic essence draws the current upwards. The whole body frequency shifts. The electromagnetic field of this body magnifies. It can spread and spread until it becomes so super relevant that the beautiful connection to the Antarvaha Sharira. That means we can journey through this cord and reach to higher domains and receive the awareness from the higher self. That means the sign is that the lower self has merged with the higher self. The master within is alive. It's called a Swami. Swa Asmi. That once we have become one with the master within. The soul awareness penetrates, and the magnificence of the connection with these aligned masters, superior masters who are in the highest domains. The connection is established. The frequency of coming back into the Rishi radar. You are one with the source through the powerful alignment with the masters. The Guru Kripa is alive. The powerful alignment is supremely channeled through this. And that's when the frequency has shifted on a permanent basis, and it is progressively aligned for higher knowing. There is no restedness. It is on constant. You are alive, awake, aware to the higher knowing. That means there is a continuum of progression. That means each and every moment is enriched with higher knowing, and that's a creative flow, constantly flowing for better ways of higher flow. That there is a consistency, and yet there is a deep-seated peace, contentment. How is it possible that a progression is so intense and yet there is contentment? That means we know we are it so strongly, the alignment is so superior that there is no need for trying to seek it from out to in. You are, the internalization happens. The explosive, implosive device is so super ready and super reactive that and responsive at the same time. The reaction is a nuclear explosion, and the response is unification. So powerful is this understanding. When there is all the physics laws that we think we know can be collapsed into that quantum collapse, and then the realization is that everything is emerged from nothing, and yet we have the nothingness is pregnant with everything. So all the paradoxes of the literal understandings collapse, because then where do we begin, where do we end? There is no beginning nor end. There is nothing. We are not born, so they're not going to die. So the deathless fragrance of that unification is alive. We can sense it from everywhere. The whole body becomes porous to that knowing. This absorption from everywhere. You are no longer restricted to the indriya. We have gained away the victory over the indriya. Indriya vijayati ati shauryam. That means the force which guides you to that knowing is that we are not driven by the sensory struggle anymore. No alcohol, no drug, no coffee, no substance can give you that infinite essence of the nectar within. That powerful nectar within, the supreme ambrosia within, it's like a amazing divine essence which has penetrated so intensely within that nothing else can compare to it. Everything looks pale and insignificant in its presence. So that is, the essence is so strong. The Amrita Nadi opens the gateways. The Shankini Nadi opens the channels to the higher being. That means there is an intense possibility. The dimethyltryptamine in the pineal gland opens its doorways, gateways, and the receptor of the pineal gland is open. Dopamine releases at the same time. Serotonin releases. Noradrenaline releases. Norepinephrine releases. The endorphin releases. The body has explored all the possible releases of and the whole brain is in synchronicity with the rest of the body, and then the whole body is fragrant and alive and so beautiful that it's an honor. It's then tremendous gratitude flows out for the receptivity, and the whole cosmic aliveness comes in, and we can experience the cosmos, the glory of it, the dance of it. It's called Tandava, Ananda Tandava. The Lasya has risen and the Tandava has begun, and the whole body experiences the spin of the universe within, the spin of the earth within, and yet it is stable, strong, alive, fragrant, and able to express the humanness in the form of compassion, in the form of unconditional love. And then the glory of this enlightened awareness is not for self claim, it is for purpose of purest play, of the purest expression, and everything flows from into out, and the receptivity is so beautiful, like it's like a story of a flower and the bee. The flower has bloomed under a rock somewhere in the hill. 8 miles away, the bee has got the fragrance of the flower and goes there instinctively and locates the flower under the rock and sucks the nectar from it, and then spreads it across, pollinates other flowers through it. So the way it is that the presence of the flower was not known to you and me, but the bee knows it. That means for every flower there is a bee. Same way, for every being that wants to awaken and rise, there is a particular interest and focal point of the universal conspiracy to awaken that being to the higher knowing. And once that happens, it cross-pollinates, it magnetizes, it flows and reaches to every being that was meant to be part of that encounter, part of that expression, part of that flow. And there is a magnetism which swivels around, moves around, it inspires. Electromagnetic field is faster than the speed of light. That means our presence is so intense that it can reach to domains beyond our understanding. And this is what is fragrant, because we are alive. The soul fragrance comes alive, and the awareness is intensely aligned to the gratitude and compassion. Everything flows. The more we receive, the more the gratitude we have, and more the compassion flows through us. The cyclical completion happens. Gratitude for the compassion, gratitude for the reception, and everything becomes a beautiful process of give and receive, and enlightenment is complete. Paripurnata journey opens its oceanic awareness to the highest knowingness, and the journey takes on till it becomes complete, and one step away from merger. Lesha Vidya is on. We are able to spread that enlightened awareness without completely merging and losing our expression and identity, and this is the way of the highest knowingness. Hari Om.